Hey, come on, pin drop silence or what? For making that time to come and see us this morning.
The Minister of Health and Medical Services Director for Nursing, Ms. Wanga, senior managers, new nursing interns, invited guests or media partners, Assalamu alaikum, Nisambula Vinaka, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, and a very, very good morning to you all. It is indeed a blessed morning for me to be able to be present here with you this morning and open your 4 days workshop. Parliament has been rescheduled to tomorrow, and I think this was indeed an opportunity I was looking for. So maybe God answered my prayers. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in the Parliament session. Nevertheless, first and foremost, please allow me to commend and congratulate you for reaching this stage of your career, and of course for choosing such a noble profession as your career path. We are indeed, and I am also indeed grateful to your families and your friends and your well wishes for the support that they have given to you, and the privilege that you have been given, and the trust that you have been entrusted with to care for our fellow Fijians wherever you are posted in your nursing career. I'd also like to acknowledge or give my sincere acknowledgement to your tutors and your mentors for guiding you. And I'm sure the knowledge, skills, and experience that you have gained will be put to good use in real practice. To each one of you seated here again, please be proud of your efforts and your determination to be where you are, because it is you at the end of the day who has chosen this career path. It is you at the end of the day who has struggled to be here and probably put yourself to the service of our nation. So can we start off with a big round of applause to all our intern nurses? What should I call you, nurses, ladies and gentlemen? No more students. The next 4 days, I'm told, will be very, very important to you. Not only will you be introduced and inducted into the way the health system in Fiji operates, but I'm sure the 4 days of workshop will prepare you to understand the operational processes and the operational businesses within our health systems. Wherever you are posted, you really should be ready for the practical experiences that await you in real terms. This induction and internship, I believe, began 2 years ago, again to allow all new nursing interns to learn together, to ensure that the professional codes of conduct, standards of practices, customer service, and everything that is related to in and out of your nursing job is taught in agreement with one and all. And just like the saying goes, if we are on the same page, we tend to do the same thing. If we sing from the same page, then we'll all be in a harmonious tune. And that's what we want. We want each one of you to be better prepared as to what each one of you is expected and required to do in your probably daily experiences within the health facilities. And I strongly believe that as you leave after the 4-day workshop, not only would you have built a better teamwork and network and bonding amongst your other nursing colleagues, but at the same time, like I said, you will be in better synchronization, better coordination, and in a better field of teamwork to make sure that your work is delivered successfully. I'm sure you all are aware of the vision of the Ministry of Health and the government, and that is to have a healthy population. But you and I all know the challenges that we are facing, not only as a health ministry, but as a government and as a society, to ensure that our people are healthy. And that would be one of the biggest challenges. If you're a nurse probably 2 decades away, or even 10 years ago, if you're a nurse, you would face different challenges. I'm sure your seniors would tell you. I could tell you when we grew up, what were the challenges we faced when we went to the health system, what were the health challenges our generation faced. The health challenges that we face at the moment globally are far, far more challenging than what 2 or 3 decades nursing fraternity or the medical fraternity faced. So I'm sure you are all ready to go out there and face the challenges. Okay? And so how do we achieve our ministry's vision of a healthy population, knowing that we are plagued with health issues? NCDs used to be an issue for us, now CDs are an issue for us, and you name it. The list doesn't stop. Okay? So we need you. We need your young minds. We need innovative, young, fresh, energetic people like you to join our health system and see if we can together find out a solution as to how best we can educate our people, how best we can find solutions to the health challenges that we have, and how best we can work as a team. Okay? You may have seniors who will be supervising you. Please learn from them. It's very important. And to the seniors, I would urge that you listen to these young minds. It shouldn't be a one-way traffic. Okay? Leadership is all about, at one time the leadership was top-down. I say you listen. I think we've moved past that. Okay? We are willing to listen. We are willing to engage with younger generations. We are willing to engage with young minds because we believe, I strongly believe, that you have a lot more to offer, okay, than just to listen. Make sure criticisms are taken very positively. Sometimes I get calls, all communications breached, channels of communications breached, I get a call, say, this is what my supervisor did to me, she shouted at me in front of those things. There are channels to be followed, and I'm sure within the 4 days you'll be briefed about how to raise issues that you might have. But I'm sure if you work as a as a team player, we should be able to avoid all those things. Okay? Always be learning, always be willing to learn. Be receptive to comments and criticism. Okay? I'll talk about that later on. So, like I said, how do we achieve our mission? Now, it's our mission. It's our ministry. Remember that. Just because you're a nurse doesn't mean it's my ministry. It's our ministry. Doctors, nurses, allied health workers, GWEs, the cleaner, the gardener, the cook, everybody is part of the ministry. And I want you to feel part of the ministry by saying it's our ministry. But at the end of the day, what you do becomes my problem. Remember that. What you do becomes my problem. It becomes my government's problem. So that's why it's very important, like I said, let's be on the same page. Let's be on the same page. I made it very clear in 2017, I think, when we had the nurses AGM, and I said, we will not play the defensive game. And I'm still going to stand here and say that to you loud and clear. You are responsible for your own actions. Okay? So be very, very mindful of how you deliver your services. We have a helpline. We get feedback from the customers. And there are still cases where we receive complaints about a rude nurse or a rude doctor. Okay? So I'm sure you will not be in that cohort. Okay? Your batch will try to avoid that. Be very compassionate. Be very empathetic when you are serving your patients. Because every patient that enters your health facility or every patient that is going to enter your health facility has a health problem. That's why he or she is there knocking on your doors. Okay? So it becomes your responsibility. It becomes your responsibility to ensure that the service delivery is at the top. You have chosen this profession. Nobody has forced you to be a nurse. Okay? You have chosen. And people say, nursing is a calling. What name normally comes to our mind is Florence Nightingale. Selfless service. Okay? That should be the heart of nursing, and I believe that. Okay, so I understand when we say that many times, please enjoy your work. Love your work. That compassion and that passion must come from your heart. Okay, I want to be a nurse. I'm going to be a happy nurse. I'm going to keep my patients happy. Sometimes That statement can be far-fetched because the realities at the ground, the challenges at the ground, the expectations of our people may be beyond what you would have expected. And I want you to be ready for that. Now more than ever, we are under public scrutiny. The work that you do is under public scrutiny. Expectations have risen. That's all good. Okay? We must set very high benchmarks for us. Okay? And this career that you have chosen is no joke. Remember that. Your action may mean life or death for somebody. Your action within your facility may make somebody smile and get better, or it may make somebody miserable. We want our facilities to be happy facilities. Okay? So like again I said, please be very mindful of your actions when you're dealing with patients that you attend to. That's very important. I would expect you in the daily course of your work to be encouraging, not only to your patients, but to your peers and colleagues as well. We expect you to be very respectful to your senior managers. At the same time, very, very respectful to all those that you serve. Like again I said, let's avoid being defensive and let's avoid being hostile to our patients. If I may go back to some of the cases that we received complaints on our health line. One is delays. Okay, we understand the long waiting times. We understand that. On nurses and doctors, inclusive, because nurses, you are the frontliners in any health facilities. Remember that. When you wear that uniform and when you're walking around the health facility, it gives hope to the patients. So they might stop you on your way to somewhere and ask something. We are told that many at the time, you just brush them aside because you're rushing to get somewhere. Totally understood. Totally understood. But it doesn't take a second or a smile for you to say, hold on sir, or hold on madam, let me just finish this, I'll come back to you and attend that. That makes a difference. It really makes a difference when you do that. And I'm sure you have that quality inside you because you've chosen nursing to be your profession. So poor attitudes and behaviors from nurses will not be tolerated. Hostile behaviors will not be tolerated. And I'm sure you will ensure that that doesn't happen. That complaint doesn't arise. Sometimes, at times, I'm not generalizing it, I'm just saying sometimes at times we receive complaints on how nurses are speaking to patients. Very rude and abrupt. The tone that you use, okay? The tone that no matter how stressed out you are, we would expect you to use a nice tone, like I said, like a smile, a tap on the back. Just a simple greeting goes a long, long way. Okay? So please be mindful of that. Sometimes we've also had cases where we have complaints where nurses fail to take time to provide proper information to patients or customers. Somebody asks you, what's wrong with my mom? No, of course, if somebody brings a sick mother to the hospital, they would be concerned. Take out a few seconds, maybe have a talk with the doctor and advice. Okay, the doctor is looking at you and we will definitely tell you what's wrong with your loved one. That gives a lot of solace and comfort to families. And like I said, let me reiterate, you are the frontliners of our health facilities. Do justice, be proud of the uniform that you wear. Sometimes we've also had, again, not a generalized thing, but some complaints have been received where a patient asks for a clean sheet, falls on deaf ears. A patient's requesting somebody to assist in the wheelchair, falls on deaf ears. It may not be an everyday case, but remember, one case takes away all the good that you do. You're modern people, you're techno-savvy people. You read and hear what happens. Everything might be good from morning till afternoon till the next morning, but one incident by one personnel does damage to the whole nursing fraternity, or not only the whole nursing fraternity, but to the whole ministry as a whole. Please avoid that. Please avoid that. Okay. I'm reminded of this Shakespearean play I did in, I think it's Hamlet, I stand to be correct. They say, the good that we do is interred with the bones, it dies away. The evil lives ever after. I think I did that in Form 7. Yeah, Hamlet. Basically, the gist of everything, no matter how much good you are going to do, one small error, or maybe one tiny neglect, takes away everything that you do. And it, from your shoulders, it comes to my shoulders. Okay, so a humble plea to all of you. Okay, do justice to your new cohort that's going to be added onto the Ministry of Health. And I'm sure you and I all can work together to see that it doesn't happen. Again, like I said, we talk about Florence Nightingale. I'm sure everybody knows who Florence Nightingale was, okay? And she worked with compassion and commitment with the utmost goal of providing holistic and quality care to her patients. And the same patience, patience, T-I-E-N-C-E, the same patience, same passion, and same commitment is shown to you, to our patients by you. I'm sure we will be able to provide that quality care to everyone and anyone who comes under our care. Yours, if I may say again, is a very, very noble profession. You know, when I was a teacher, people used to say, teaching is a noble profession. Nursing is probably more nobler than that. As teachers, we looked at the minds of young children, to mold the minds into a path of righteousness and stuff. You, what do? You look at nurturing the body. Very noble profession. Like I said, one wrong action can lead to death. One right action may lead to life. Nobody wants to lose a loved one. For reasons, well, if there are reasons beyond our control, then we all know. Okay, we tried and tried and tried. You should be satisfied that you gave the best to your job. And if you do lose someone, you should be able to understand, okay, I did my best. But you've got to do your best to have that satisfaction at the end of the day. I did my part. I started my shift well on time or well before time. I was all rested well before I came for my shift. You know, I was all prepared in mind and in body that I'm ready for my work. Not that you are engaged in something else throughout the day and night, you don't rest, and you come and you're so tired that you are not able to give your 100% to your job. I'm sure it's not going to happen. So, yeah, and again, as I look across the room, all young, smart, bright, and I'm sure you are all roaring to go into the field and do. I see a smile from there. Maybe let me give you a clap to all the young nurses joining. See, you are smiling. Keep that smile on your face, please. No matter what situation, whether you're doing a night shift or a morning shift or afternoon shift, where there's an influx of patients, your shortage of this and that, you're trying to make do. Those are the realities at the ground level. Okay? Just keep that calm. Keep that serenity on your face. Don't let your stress show on your face to your patients. Each and every patient should be made welcome, should be made comfortable, and should be very, very special to you. And that's what families and patients remember, a nice, smiling nurse. Okay? You may come across very hostile families and patients. You will. Who will be demanding, who probably will be unreasonable in the demand. See how best you can calm that situation. I'm sure you're all prepared for that. And this next 4 days will prepare you even better. Do not be afraid to seek advice, whether it's from your colleagues, your seniors. Follow your proper protocols. Okay, please, don't be there. When I came, I said, scared. Don't be scared. We're all human beings. We all learn. We make mistakes, but in your field, please, like I said, be very careful of making mistakes. Okay? So that's there. And like I said, you're all young, bright, and all roaring to go out the field. Again, please be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you have achieved. Be proud of who you represent. And like I said, remember, people come to you when they are in the most vulnerable stage. Sick, very sick. Some may come to you when they are very, very, very sick with a very complicated history of medical. But it is your obligation, it is our obligation to care for them and give them the best that your facility can. Give them the best that you can. And when the going gets tough, like I said, sometimes you'll say, okay, enough. I say that at the end of the day. Enough. I should just go home. I can't handle it. I can handle all the pressures that you give me. This is just this one. We have close to, Doctor, how many nurses we have so far? We have close to 3,300 nurses into the system, with about close to 400 doctors and the other allied workers and everybody. So when there's something doesn't go out well, all that comes to me. And then my peers. And then we chase after the managers and the directors. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's human. It's human. Say, okay, I can't do it. It's just too much. What do? Take a deep breath. Go to your supervisor and say, look, can I have a shift off? Can I have a day off? Don't pressure yourself, because in pressure you might make some further damage, not to yourself but to the others that you're looking at. We're human beings. Okay? And nurses are human. Sometimes the expectations outside is so high that you will sit and think, okay, what do these people think of us? We are human beings after all. Okay? But in your profession, remember, there is no room for negligence. There is no room for mistakes, because your mistakes can be very costly. Take a break. You need counseling. Tell your senior matrons and your supervisors, look, you need some time off. Talk to your friends. Okay? But don't just go out on social media and say, oh, this is what happened in my work. And you know what happens, huh? It's just I don't want to say it. So again, be mindful. Be loyal to your profession. You have issues, raise it up with your seniors. Nothing's going to happen if you start sharing that with somebody else who's not going to make a difference to you. So that's one advice I'm going to give it to you. And again, what's the nurses' pledge? I'm sure, have they taken the pledge? Not yet, or even if you have taken the pledge, in full knowledge and obligations, I am undertaking a promise to care for the sick with all skill and understanding I possess. That's your pledge? Yes. Please remember that. Remember that in full knowledge you are taking the pledge. And the pledge binds you to the work that we expect you to do. So, if I said beautiful nurses, I would be accused of being gender insensitive. And we see a lot of our boys and men folk here. Okay? At one time, remember, nursing used to be just nurses. Huh? So when my brother decided to be a nurse way back in 89, 90, okay, what? You want to be a nurse? But those mindsets have changed, and I think, we should congratulate all our male counterparts for choosing this profession. So thank you. Yeah? We're happy now. So, like I said, times have changed, perceptions have changed, expectations have changed, but your role remains the same. Your role remains the same. So again, congratulations for that. So for the next 4 days, you're here. Please ask questions, contribute to discussions, gather as much knowledge as you can, use it for your benefit and for the benefit of others. And remember, information is only good as if you put it to use. Okay? It's only good as if you put it to use. So if you are told about the code of conduct, if you are told about civil service, all these things that's going on, the policies, you need to know the policies of the health ministry, put it to use. Put it to use. We can't have one nurse making a different stand on something and the other doing something differently, and you can't say you didn't know. So this is the time to find out. Okay? Find out all those standards of practice that is applicable to you. And forget all the difficulties that you may have encountered, or even at times when you felt like a failure. Now you have blossomed into, what should I say, beautiful and handsome nurses. I have to say it like that again, not to be gender biased. And so I'm sure most of you have made good friendships with those that you have studied with. Keep those friendships alive. Like I said, network is very important. And you have reason to celebrate. You have risen to this level, and there's every reason for you to celebrate your success. So do that. Go home. If you're going home today, tomorrow, the day after, I know you've assembled from all the place. Thank your parents. Thank your siblings. It's very important, because without their support, you wouldn't be here. That's very important. Okay? Now that you are suddenly working, so don't forget those that have actually put you here. It's very important. Okay? Go home with a smile. After a hard day's work, go home, sit and talk to your parents or wherever you are staying, your friends and family, and be excited about being a nurse. Really. Be excited about the nurse, about being a nurse. And be more excited about where you're going to be put next. How about that? Okay? You may be put to remote situations. You may be put to very beautiful, modernized health facilities. You may go to places where there's no electricity. Okay? Be excited about that. That's a real nurse. Okay? Put service before self. And may I encourage you all to be good examples of the nursing profession, and exhibit both professional knowledge and professional behavior. That's very important. The government values the hard work of our existing nurses, and I'm sure our future nurses, you will be equally valuable to the health ministry. And I firmly believe that the level of energy and commitment, coupled with the desire to serve with love and passion, you will definitely help us take the ministry and the government a long, long way. Okay? So on that note, I would like to congratulate you once again, and I wish you all the very best. At the same time, please look after your own health. That's very important. Sometimes in the midst of serving others, we forget. But you need to be of good health in order to serve those, and in order to promote healthy living amongst the population. So just a way of background information, statistics that I wanted to give since the media is here. Currently we have a nursing population of 3,300 that I mentioned, and that brings us the ratio of nurse to population at about 38 to 40 per 10,000 people. Right? So 10,000 people are served by about 38 to 40 nurses, which is not where we want to be. Okay? So we need to have close to 5,000 to 6,000 nurses for existing population. Okay? And we expect in the next 5 years, we should be able to add another 1,350 nurses to the Ministry of Health. And on that note, a cabinet paper is going to go to cabinet very shortly, so that we can start our quota from 2019. The 200 nurses that we were expected to add in for the last 4 years? 5 years, 200 per year, we've completed that. Okay? So, yes, nurses do retire, nurses do migrate. We sometimes lose some of our nurses due to this. And I think we should actually thank all those nurses whom we have lost, who have passed away, those nurses who have retired, well, even those that have migrated, because they have left their mark in Fiji. And I think we really need to put our hands together and say thank you to all. So on that note, once again, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Incredible.